legendary Rio Grande from Old Mexico into Texas. Ahead is a western filming area known as Six Points, Texas, which appears in the Sony Pictures production of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with Academy Award winners Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, and The Mandalorian's Timothy Olyphant. Recently, also a showdown took place here.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on me, Fallon. Now get!
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk it out, that's all.
Hey, Jimmy's going to talk it out. He's been one or maybe two of the Universal Western stars who've walked these streets over the years. There have been a few others. Earlier, I told everybody that most of our sound stages are on the front lot. Most, not quite all of them. Over to the left, you can get a look at our backlot sound stages. Our 747 stage with that F9 poster there with Vin Diesel's. A little hard to see. Here we got stages 24, 25, 26, and 27. Stages 24 and 25 is where we are now taping season 21 of The Voice with celebrity coaches Blake Shelton, Kelly Clarkson, John Legend, and now Ariana Grande. And our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark. So I just want to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention, and I will be back to assist you, but do remain seated on the tram. And getting back to this idea that the world is just around the corner on the back lot. Over here to the right, this is Little Europe. And these Little Europe sets can be, you know, folks, the Little Europe sets can be transformed into nearly any country for filming, European or otherwise, by doing things like changing the language on the signs. Little Europe, for instance, was Belarus for the ABC series Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also Italy for Angels and Demons with Tom Hanks. And this is also the afterlife for The Good Place. There's the same thing, welcome to The Good Place. But speaking of Italy and all things Italian, Signor Fallon.
Mi chiamo Jimmy Fallon e tu una grossa bottiglia di vino. Mamma mia! Je m'appelle Jimmy Fallon. Je l'aurais été baguette.
Non, Sally, no! Hallo, ich bin Jimmy Fallon. Gauschnitzel. Ich glaub, die steht auf mich.
Up ahead where you see that door, the kind of, that's where we shot all three of those scenes. And to the left, you can see a fountain with the blue tile on the rim. That fountain was flowing with clam chowder on an episode of The Good Place that you might remember if you watched The Good Place. So, The Good Place featured Ted Danson as Michael and Kristen Bell as the late Eleanor Shellstrom.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Well, maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
The Little Europe sets have also provided the setting for many classic Universal monster movies like Frankenstein with Boris Karloff or Dracula with Bela Lugosi. And those classic monster movies continue to inspire a new generation of filmmakers like Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter, and this guy here is Stephen Sommers.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein,
Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy,
Hunchback of Notre Dame,
The Invisible Man,
Phantom of the Opera.
classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image,
The flathead, the bolt.
it's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by these movies.
Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
Now, we got an open stage ahead of us, stage 50, and inside here is a set which is a recreation of a Northern California Bay Area subway station. This is a hot set. Everything's in place for filming the next scene. I need everyone to remain seated, keep your arms and legs aside, hang on to loose articles as well, so this way nothing will be disturbed or moved. And I'm going to show you now what the set looked like in an episode of the series Bones with Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz.
Look, they're sweets.
He looks very upset.
When I talked to him, so they got him in his arms.
Guys with the FBI?
Yeah, we're here about the human remains.
That's him. Right over there.
You alright?
Yeah.
So you can see there's lots of details in here, things like the So that's one of our little California trambolers. We get them all the time. Maybe not so little. Thank God, this could be the big one. On the right, the peep, it's picking up. I think I hear the train. Everyone just please remain in your seats and stand by for on the right water, lots of it too. And that's Earthquake the big one. Here's what the effect looked like in the Bones episode.
What's going on?
Earthquake the big one. That's a simulation of an 8.3 on the Richter scale. That's what's known as a mechanical effect in Hollywood, and it was certainly one of major magnitude. And now, our fam's going to take us all the way back east. We're going to head off to the New England town of Amity Island, the same town that was terrorized by a 25-foot-long great white shark who the locals nicknamed Jaws. Do not worry though, the shark has finally been caught. In fact, Amity police divers are in the water right now. They're doing a final check of the harbor before reopening the beaches to tourists. Here's our shark, and hey, wait a minute, this shark doesn't look 25 feet long. It looks more like 14 or 15 feet. You know what? These fishermen do tend to sometimes exaggerate the truth, don't they? Yeah, they're all, I got one that was this big. Yeah, right. What they should be saying is, look at the big fin of the water. And the fin of the water, wait a minute. The diver's still out there. We gotta warn him. Easy. Sir, you gotta get back in the boat. Now. Hey, out of the water, but no, we're too late. The shark has got him. What do we do? Help, police. Oh, that's right. You are the police. Blood, and death. Everyone, please remain seated at all times as we make our way across the dock. I think our boys have caught the wrong shark. The real Jaws is still out there somewhere. Our only hope will be if he takes the bait attached to the yellow buoy in the harbor. He's taking the bait and he's taking the pier. On the right, look out! Well, I know the big plastic shark looks kind of phony up close, but he's actually much more reliable than was Bruce, the mechanical star of the movie Jaws. In a few moments, we're going to hear from a couple of the film's human stars, Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Scheider, along with the director Steven Spielberg.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark were well enough. For a while, they were enemies of all kinds. So I really owe the shark a lot.
In case you're wondering, Bruce, the shark from Jaws was named after Steven Spielberg's attorney. These Amity Island sets also became the town of Cabot Cove, Maine, for the television series Murder, She Wrote, with Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher, the daring author detective. And coming up on the right now is a structure called, actually on the left here rather, is Elm Street. Elm Street over here will soon be appearing in episodes of Good Girls with Christina Hendricks. And to the right of us is this is a structure called the Chicken Ranch. The Chicken Ranch is an example of a practical set. It actually has a complete interior and exterior, kind of like a real house. And it's appeared in the movie musical Shout with John Travolta, an episode of Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula and Beethoven Smith, with a Dick St. Bernard and Dave Thomas of SCTV and Strange News. Now, coming up on the left, this is Colonial Street. You might recognize Colonial Street. It was Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. It was also featured in it's featured rather in the Netflix series Never Have I Ever, from creative producer writer Mindy Kaling. Lots of other famous folks have lived here. Like coming up on the left, this beige house with white trim was home to James Stewart and his as Elwood P. Dowd and his 6-foot-tall invisible rabbit friend Harvey and Harvey. And on the right here, the green and stone house was home to the Beaver family in the Leave It to Beaver movie. This light brown house with beige trim appears in the commercial for Armor All Pads with F9's John Cena, where you see John Cena standing in that driveway there holding a car up over his head saying, "We are both in tip-top shape," meaning him in the car. Coming up ahead here, you might remember a recent NBC series called Abby's with Natalie Morales. Well, this was the title location here for Abby's. We used to film the show with a live audience, and we're placed right there on that asphalt lot right behind the house. So on Abby's, Abby, played by Natalie Morales, was operating a bar out of the back of her house there, maybe with or without the proper licenses. Colonial Street also appears in the music video It's a Beautiful Day by Michael Bublé. And it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood when Mr. Rogers himself, Tom Hanks, lived here in the 1989 film The Burbs. Christina Ricci was here filming part of the Casper movie. Nellie and Kelly Rowland shot Nellie's Dilemma music video here. I mentioned the Desperate Housewives. Tom Hulse and Stephen Furst shot a scene from Animal House around some of these sets. And Colonial Street once became a wintry Grand Rapids, Michigan during the holidays. In a scene from the film Why Him? With Bryan Cranston, James Franco, Zoe Deutsch, Nick Offerman, also Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, two members of the classic rock band Kiss. They played themselves in Why Him with the makeup, the platform shoes, everything else. Well, we're moving now from the suburbia of Colonial Street and heading into the untamed frontier of Wilderness Road. This is our Wilderness Road, which was featured in a mudslide scene in an episode of the Fox series 911 with Angela Bassett. So for that mudslide scene, that's a show about paramedics. We had some emergency vehicles here on Wilderness Road. So those emergency vehicles in that instance would be more examples of picture cars. Speaking of picture cars, we're going to be seeing yet more picture cars here in just a few moments. One of the first ones you're going to be seeing here will be a Sweet Licks ice cream truck, which has been used for some of our bases for our annual Halloween Horror Nights events. The truck was originally used in 2009 for Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell, Anna Friel, and Danny McBride, based on the Sid Marty Krofft television series. Here's a little lime green mini coupe driven by Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean in Mr. Bean's Holiday. A yellow Duesenberg, a recreation of one just like it used in American Graffiti. And look for a robot in disguise. Yeah, Bumblebee of the Transformers is over there disguised as a yellow Chevy. It isn't on display right here, but I'm thinking of a certain Ford Fairlane. Ah, here it is. which was driven by Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh. Marion was looking for a place to stay and maybe to take a shower.
We all go to the match sometimes.
Your final destination and our next point of interest on the tour, the Bates Motel and Psycho House from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller, Psycho. And now, coming up, one of the most impressive movie sets ever created. The spectacular crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. This is what's left of the neighborhood where Tom Cruise hid out in a scene from the film. That's an actual plane which was destroyed specifically for this incredible scene.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
When you first began to sit down to talk about the War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, now, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay?
Okay.
Now closed. Robbie, get in.
Now, everyone, make sure you're seated.
Get in.
And like I was saying, the set for War of the Worlds is one of the largest ever constructed, or should I say destructed. We are approximately 10 minutes from the end of the tour, and we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need assistance, and remain seated at all times. Now coming up on the right is a log cabin used in the comedy The Great Outdoors with SNL's Dan Aykroyd and John Candy of SCTV. And to the right of us behind the cabin is a big blue wall. That's a man-made lake known as Falls Lake. You can fill the lake with water and then make it appear to be an entire ocean or other large body of water to the camera, with the backdrop blocking out the entire San Fernando Valley. Falls Lake was the Hudson River for the plane landing sequences in Sully, with Academy Award winner Tom Hanks.
Evacuate.
Directed by another Academy Award winner, Clint Eastwood. Okay, folks, this just in. I was talking about picture cars, and it seems somebody has spotted a 1970 black Dodge Charger somewhere on the lot. It's been traced back to its owner, Dominic Toretto, one of those Fast and Furious street racers. It gets even better. Somebody on the tram is a witness from the Federal Protection Program who's being pursued by the international criminal mastermind Owen Shaw, who's after us as well. We've been instructed, more like ordered, by this guy on your screens, Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Services, to hide out here in Sullivan Truck Repair. This is a known street racer party hangout. According to Hobbs, this is the safest place for us. We're going to lay low and stick together, remain seated, keep your arms and legs inside, and hang on to loose articles as well. Do not put the glasses on yet, but do have them ready, because in just a little bit we'll be using those as protective eyewear. I will let you know when to put them on, not just yet. We got some cool cars here, though. I've never seen a tow truck like that before in my life, and I've seen Mater. This looks like an assault vehicle. Imagine what you could do with that in LA traffic. Try, what couldn't you do? Oh, and ahead of us, it does sound like there's a party going on somewhere.
Hey, you! They just got here. All right, I got it. Well, listen, hello, beautiful people, particularly you right there missing the third row. How you doing? You good? My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in that third row, like I was saying. So look, see over there? That's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. But that work of art back over there is made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels. Extra fly.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman, one.
All right, look, guys. We're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the Syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
So like I was saying, the third row, right? You're saying how much?
That was Lenny Ortiz with Roman Pierce. And I can't believe this. I can't believe that Roman has invited us to join his party. We're going to join that party just as soon as the doors ahead of us are open. And make sure you're seated with your arms and legs inside. And not loose articles as well. So Rose, you want to go to a real party? Oh, look on the right. They're assembling for a swinging rave. And they'll be expecting me. I'll see you all in a little bit. Woo!